Okay, so you know how everyone's talking about AI agents lately?
Yeah.
It's like suddenly they're everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I bet a lot of you listening are thinking, hey, I want one of those. Like my own personal AI assistant.
Right.
Well, you are in luck because today we're doing a deep dive into all the stuff we've been reading about building and actually using these AI agents.
Cool.
So think of this as like your guide to this whole world.
Yeah, and maybe even build your own, right?
Exactly. And you know what's even cooler? We're not just talking about like another Siri or Alexa. We're talking about AI that's actually made for you. Like it gets you in what you need.
Yeah, that's what's really exciting. It's about moving past those generic virtual assistants, you know?
Totally. So before we get too deep, let's break it down.
Okay.
What exactly is an AI agent?
Well, it's basically a virtual assistant, but amped up.
Yeah.
You know, it can do a ton of different stuff like answering questions or setting up meetings, even writing code.
Whoa, really? Code?
Yeah. But the big thing is that it learns about you as you use it.
So it gets smarter over time.
Exactly. The more you use it, the better it gets at, well, being your AI.
That's awesome. Okay, but how do we even start to build one?
All right, so the research lays out these 5 main steps, and the first one is what they call intake.
Intake? Like it's eating information or something?
Kind of. It's all about feeding your AI the stuff it needs to get going.
Okay, so what kind of stuff are we talking about?
Well, it could be data from work projects or stuff from your calendar, even just questions you ask it directly.
So like showing it how you do things, basically.
Exactly. It's like giving it a crash course in you, how you work, what you need.
So hold on, is there like a limit to how much info we should give it during this intake phase?
Oh, that's a great question.
Like could we accidentally overload it?
It is about finding a balance, yeah.
Right?
You want the AI to have enough to get you, but not so much that it gets bogged down.
Okay, that makes sense.
Think of it like you wouldn't give someone a huge manual on their first day, right?
Sure.
You give them the basics and let them learn as they go.
Okay, so what happens after this intake step?
Well, next up is what they call understanding,
Okay.
which is basically where the AI figures out what all that intake stuff actually means.
Gotcha.
And there's this cool technique called RAG that's really important here.
Frag, what's that?
So imagine you ask your AI to like summarize a super complicated research paper. RAG lets it pull in info from a bunch of places, not just that one paper.
Oh, interesting.
Like it could check definitions, look at other studies, even remember stuff you've asked it before.
Whoa, so it's like a super researcher.
Yeah, pretty much. And that way, the summary it gives you is actually useful, you know, tailored to you.
So it's not just spitting out random facts.
Nope, it's trying to really get what you need.
That's wild. Okay, so after it understands, what's next?
Well, then it's time for planning.
Makes sense. Gotta have a plan.
Right. So this is where it figures out the best way to do whatever task you've given it.
Okay.
It breaks the task down into steps and figures out the best order to do them in.
So it's basically a project manager.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And this whole planning thing is what makes these agents so powerful, you know?
Yeah, I'm starting to see that.
Like, think about planning a trip. That's a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
The AI can break it down.
Yeah.
Flights, hotels, activities, and do it all within your budget.
Okay, so we've got the info, it understands it, and it has a plan.
Right.
What happens next?
Now it's time for action.
Showtime.
Exactly. This is where it actually does the stuff. It might write an email, search for something, even run code.
Whoa, so it's like the AI is getting its hands dirty.
Yep, putting all that planning into motion.
Okay, and what about that last step, reflection and validation? What's that all about?
That's all about learning and getting better.
Okay.
After it does something, it looks back and asks, did that work? What could be better?
So it's constantly improving.
Exactly. It's not just a one-time thing. It's always learning and refining how it does things.
I like that. It's like it's never satisfied, always pushing to get better.
Yep, that's what makes it so powerful.
This is all super fascinating,
Right.
but I gotta admit, it sounds kind of technical.
Yeah.
Like, what skills do I need to build one of these things?
Well, you'd need to know a bit about data, programming languages like Python, and AI frameworks like TensorFlow or PyTorch.
TensorFlow. PyTorch. Those sound intense.
They are powerful tools. Python is really popular for AI because it's pretty easy to read and it has a ton of libraries for building things.
Okay.
And those frameworks, they're like toolkits for building AI models.
Okay, so where should someone even start with all this?
Luckily, there are tons of resources online, like tutorials and courses and stuff.
So even if you're a beginner.
Exactly. Start with the basics, learn the language, play around with some code, you know?
So don't be scared to experiment and make mistakes.
Exactly. That's how you learn.
But what about people who don't know how to code at all?
That's where no-code platforms come in.
No code. Like, you can build AI without writing any code.
Yep. They have visual interfaces and drag-and-drop tools, so it's way easier.
That's amazing. So anyone can get in on this, even without a coding background.
Exactly. It's about making AI accessible to everyone.
I love that. But, okay, let's say we're building an AI agent. Are there, like, design principles we should keep in mind?
Absolutely. The research talks about 3 big ones: simplicity, transparency, and a seamless interface.
Okay, I get simplicity, keep it straightforward.
Right. But transparency is huge too,
Why is that?
because you want to be able to understand how the AI is making decisions.
So it's not just a black box.
Yeah, you want to trust it, so seeing how it thinks is important.
That makes sense. And what about that seamless interface thing?
That's all about making sure the AI can talk to all the other computer systems it needs to.
So like connecting it to your email, calendar, all that.
Exactly. It's like building bridges between the AI and your digital world.
Okay, so build it simple, make it understandable, and make sure it can connect to everything.
You got it.
Okay, I'm following so far. But the research also mentioned these things called open source frameworks.
Oh yeah, those are super helpful.
What are they exactly?
Think of them like AI building blocks, pre-made parts that make building your own AI agent way easier.
Oh, so you don't have to start from scratch.
Nope. You can use these frameworks and just focus on the unique stuff for your agent.
That's pretty smart.
It is. Saves a lot of time and effort.
So any specific frameworks you'd recommend for people just starting out?
Oh, definitely. LangChain is a great one for beginners.
LangChain, what's that do?
It lets you connect different AI models and tools so you can create a workflow for your agent.
Like a chain of actions.
Yeah. Like say you want an AI that helps with research. You could use LangChain to connect a language model to understand your questions, a web scraper to find info, and then a summarizer to present it all nicely.
Wow, so it's like LangChain is the conductor, making sure everything works together.
Yeah. It's exactly. Pretty powerful stuff.
What are some other frameworks that are worth checking out?
Well, AutoGen is really cool. It's awesome for building agents that can actually work together like a team.
Whoa, a team of AIs.
Yeah. So instead of one agent trying to do everything, you can have specialists each doing their own thing.
That's a really cool idea, like an AI dream team.
Exactly. And then there's Crew AI, which is great for figuring out how these AI teams could actually work.
So you can test out different scenarios.
Yeah, it's all about role-playing and simulations, seeing how they'd interact.
That sounds fun. But what about research? Like if I need to go through tons of information.
Then you definitely want to look into Swirl.
Swirl.
It's built to search through huge amounts of data super fast, so it's perfect for research.
Wow, this is all blowing my mind. It feels like we're entering a whole new world with these AI agents.
It does feel that way, right? And we're just getting started.
I know, it's so exciting. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let's break down the different types of AI agents out there, like what they can do and how they're different.
You bet. It's like exploring a whole new species.
I'm ready for it. All right, so we've talked about what AI agents are and like the steps to build one.
Right.
But now I'm curious about all the different types of agents, you know?
Yeah, it's like there's a whole family tree of them.
Exactly. So where do we even start? What are the most basic ones?
Well, at the simplest level, you've got what they call simple reflex agents.
Simple reflex agents. Okay, what's that?
You know, like a thermostat.
Yeah,
It just turns the heat on when it's cold and off when it's hot.
right.
That's basically a simple reflex agent. It just reacts to what's happening right now based on rules.
So no memory or anything?
Nope. It just does its thing based on what it's sensing at that moment.
So good for simple stuff, but not exactly super intelligent.
Yeah, more like automated tasks like adjusting the temperature or turning lights on and off.
Okay, got it. So what's the next step up?
Well, then you've got model-based reflex agents.
Model-based. So what makes them different?
Well, unlike those simple ones, these guys have a bit of memory.
Oh, interesting.
They can remember stuff that happened before, and that helps them make better decisions.
Okay, so like what? Give me an example.
Think of a self-driving car.
Okay,
It can't just react to what's right in front of it.
right.
It needs to remember where other cars were a second ago, or what the traffic lights were doing.
So it's using that past info to stay safe.
Exactly. It's building a little model of the world in its memory.
That's pretty cool. So are there even smarter agents than that?
Oh yeah, we're just getting started. Next up are goal-based agents.
Goal-based. So these guys have like ambitions.
Kind of. They have a specific goal they're trying to achieve, and they can plan out how to get there.
Like a chess AI.
Exactly. It's not just reacting to your moves, it's thinking ahead, trying to win the game.
So they're not just in the moment. They're thinking about the future.
Exactly. They're thinking about what steps they need to take to reach their goal.
That's pretty impressive. Are there any even more advanced ones?
Oh yeah, we're going up the intelligence ladder here. Next are utility-based agents.
Utility-based. So they're like really practical?
Kind of. They're all about maximizing value. They look at all the possible outcomes of their actions and choose the one that leads to the best overall result.
So they're like super strategic.
Exactly. Think of a stock trading AI. Its goal is to make as much money as possible.
Okay.
So it's constantly analyzing the market, trying to predict what will happen, and make the best trades.
So always thinking about the bottom line.
Yeah, it's all about getting the most value out of every decision.
Okay, so those utility-based agents sound pretty smart.
They are, but we've got one more type to talk about, the superstars of the AI world.
Ooh, okay, hit me with it.
Learning agents.
Learning agents. So these are the ones that everyone's so excited about.
Yeah, these are the real deal. They can actually learn from their experiences and get better over time.
Like they actually learn like we do?
Pretty much. They don't need to be programmed with all the answers. They can figure things out on their own.
So how does that work? Give me an example.
Okay, imagine an AI that plays video games.
Okay, I'm with you.
A learning agent wouldn't be pre-programmed with all the best strategies. It would start by playing randomly, making mistakes, but then it would learn from those mistakes.
So it gets better as it plays.
Exactly. Eventually, it could become so good that it beats even the best human players.
Whoa, that's wild. It's like it develops its own skills.
That's exactly what's so exciting about learning agents. They're not limited by what we already know.
They can learn things we haven't even thought of.
Exactly. They can explore new possibilities, find new solutions.
This is all mind-blowing. So we've got these different types of agents, from simple to super smart.
It's a whole spectrum of AI intelligence.
I know, but it's one thing to talk about types. I'm curious about real-world stuff.
Yeah, like how are these agents actually being used? Well, let's start with healthcare. Imagine an AI that can analyze medical images.
Like x-rays and stuff.
Yeah, could help doctors make more accurate diagnoses, maybe even spot things a human might miss.
So AI working alongside doctors.
Exactly. Or think about personalized treatment plans. The AI could look at your medical history, your genetics, your lifestyle.
And tailor the treatment just for you.
Exactly. It's all about making healthcare more precise and effective.
So it's not about AI replacing doctors, it's about helping them.
Exactly. It's a partnership, really.
Okay, that makes sense. What about other industries, like finance?
Oh, AI is huge in finance. Think about fraud detection.
Catching the bad guys.
Yeah. The AI can analyze tons of transactions, looking for suspicious patterns.
So it's like an AI detective?
Kind of. It can spot things that humans might not notice, and it can do it super fast.
That's really important in finance.
It is. And AI can also help with managing risk, helping companies make smarter decisions.
Okay, so AI is making finance safer and smarter.
Yep. And what about customer service? I bet you've already interacted with AI there.
Yeah, probably chatted with a bot online or something.
Exactly. Those AI-powered chatbots are getting more and more sophisticated.
They can answer questions, troubleshoot problems.
And they're available 24/7, so you can get help whenever you need it.
That's a huge advantage. What about other areas, like education?
Well, AI could really personalize education,
Yeah, how so?
Imagine an AI tutor that knows exactly how you learn best.
It could adapt to your pace, your style.
Yeah. And it could give you personalized feedback, help you with the stuff you're struggling with.
So everyone could learn in a way that works for them.
That's the idea. And what about transportation?
Oh, AI could do a lot there, I bet.
Think about traffic management. AI could control traffic lights, adapting to real-time conditions.
So less congestion, faster commutes.
Exactly. Can make our cities much more efficient and even safer.
This is amazing. It feels like AI agents have the potential to change, well, everything.
It's a pretty exciting time, right? It feels like we're just at the beginning of this AI revolution.
I know. But before we get too carried away dreaming about the future, what about the near future? Like, what can we realistically expect to see soon?
Yeah, it's like we're on the verge of something huge.
Totally.
But it's a little, intimidating too.
Yeah, I get that.
So like, what can we really expect from AI agents in the, not too distant future?
Well, think about it. We're already using them all the time. We just don't always realize it.
Really?
Oh, yeah, like those personalized recommendations you get on Netflix or Spotify.
Okay, yeah.
Or those smart assistants that remind you about appointments.
Right.
AI agents are behind all that.
Huh. So they're already kind of woven into our lives?
Exactly. But it's going to get way more integrated, especially at work, I think.
Oh, yeah. Work. That's a big one.
Imagine having an AI that handles all those tedious tasks, like sorting through emails.
Oh my gosh, yes. That would be amazing.
Right. It could prioritize the important ones, even draft responses for you. That would free up so much time.
Exactly. You could focus on the stuff that really matters.
Okay, but what about all those worries about AI taking over jobs?
It's definitely something to think about, but I think it's more likely that AI will change jobs, not eliminate them.
Okay, so like working with AI instead of being replaced by it.
Exactly. AI can handle the repetitive, data-heavy stuff, and humans can focus on the creative, strategic thinking.
So it's more of a partnership.
Right. It's about using AI to make work better for everyone.
I like that. What about education? Could AI change how we learn too?
Oh, absolutely. Imagine AI tutors that are tailored to each student.
Like a personalized learning experience?
Exactly. It can figure out how you learn best, what you're struggling with, and adjust the material accordingly.
So everyone could learn at their own pace.
Yeah, and get the support they need to succeed.
That's a pretty awesome vision. And what about personal growth?
AI could be like a personal coach, helping you achieve your goals.
Oh, interesting.
Like, it could track your progress, give you encouragement, even suggest strategies for improvement.
So it's like having a cheerleader and a strategist all in one.
Exactly. It could help you develop healthier habits, learn new skills, anything you set your mind to.
Okay, I'm starting to see how powerful this could be.
It's exciting, right?
It is. But are there like limits to what AI agents can do?
Or for sure. AI is powerful, but it's not magic.
Right.
It's still limited by the data it's trained on and the algorithms that drive it.
So it's not like AI can suddenly understand human emotions or anything.
Well, not yet, at least.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing.
It's important to remember that AI is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
It all comes down to how we use it.
Exactly. We need to be thoughtful, responsible, and make sure AI is used to benefit humanity.
This has been such an amazing deep dive.
I've enjoyed it.
I feel like I've learned so much about AI agents and what they can do.
It's a rapidly evolving field. There's always something new to discover.
That's what makes it so fascinating.
Totally. So, any final thoughts for our listeners?
Well, I think the big takeaway is that the future of AI is in our hands.
Yeah, we get to shape how this technology develops.
So let's make sure we're building an AI-powered future that we can all be proud of.
I couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've enjoyed exploring the world of AI agents with us.
Thanks for having me.
And remember, the future is full of possibilities, so keep learning, keep exploring, and keep imagining what's possible.